First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash, and give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, pushing the truth and sincerity on the four winds of the earth, and the other brothers that teaching the same doctrine as Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, and to the confusion of faces, and to the speckled birds, the Israelite foreigners would like to say Shalom. And Israel going to try to make this a quick, brief lesson today on some events that's been happening, that's been happening around the United States. And I'll give a shout out to a small town, and my condolences go out to the family. And they was in this small town of Bastrop, Louisiana. They was pretty much judgment is going around from the Most High, Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai. But I know Bastrop, Louisiana was one of the towns that destruction hit, that the Most High sent the death angels in, and also in Dallas, Fort Worth, Chicago, certain parts of Cleveland. If I'm saying it right, I know it's a town in Ohio, but the Most High have been sending his mass judgment scattered abroad. Basically, this is for the Hebrew Israelites. They call themselves African Americans. So the Most High is bringing fierce and terrible judgments. And the Most High have his men preaching the doctrine on the four winds of the earth, on the highways and the byways, and the hedges and in the gaps, on the street corners. And these fake pastors that's dwelling in these churches made with hands, where the Most High tell you in Acts 7:48, the Most High dwelling not in temple made with hands, said the prophets. So the scriptures, so the Most High is speaking through the scriptures, and he also speaking through his servants, the prophets, the real men of the Lord. But we get ignored because we stand on the street corners, and they say, and most people say we're hollering, we're yelling, but our people don't want to hearken into the voice of the Lord. So enough rambling. So the Lord is bringing these harsh judgments. First of all, our people shouldn't be celebrating these wicked holidays. And once you know that you're a Hebrew Israelite, then you understand that, but they're not teaching you that in these buildings. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to make this quick, as fast as possible. And keep in mind, all these tragedies happen on a holiday. And the Hebrew Israelites, that's who we are in the scriptures. We shouldn't be keeping these pagan customs. And the Most High is going to continue to keep putting our people to death. The 2/3, but hopefully elect, so they'll get it. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. I'm trying to make it fast as I can. We're gonna start with the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, and verse 15. Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. So during this pagan holiday, the 4th of July, when our oppressor, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, he telling our people that they're free. You're not free. So you're celebrating a pagan custom that was not for you. So the Most High Yahweh is going to continue to put our people to death. So let me read it over. Isaiah chapter 15, Isaiah chapter 54, verse 15. Behold, they shall surely gather together, and our people gather together for the 4th of July, having block parties, celebrating these pagan customs, when the Most High sent a death angel. But not by me, whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sakes. So for the fallen Hebrew Israelites, which call themselves African Americans, the Most High say, if you gather gather together, which I know y'all did, but it wasn't of the Most High. He didn't ordain it. And that's why the Most High sent the death angel in. You know, and I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. So we're going to speak the truth. The men of the Lord that's preaching this gospel on the four winds of the earth, on the highways and the byways and the hedges and the gaps. We're going to tell you the way it is. It's not going to sound easy. It's not going to sound sweet. But this part is going to sound bitter. And that's why we hate it, because we speak the truth. And that's why our people don't want to hear what we have to say. Because we speak it, thus said the Lord, our God, Yahweh. Not our own vain opinion. That they're not teaching in these Sunday worship temples, which they're not going to teach because the Most High have them blinded. Any so-called Christian that's running into those buildings, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't even have to believe it. Like Romans 3:3 says, so what if some don't believe? Roughly paraphrasing. Do the unbelief make the word of Yahweh without effect? No. The Most High forbid. Let the Most High be true and every man a liar. So the Most High Yahweh, he sanctioned these death angels to come in and bring death upon our people. Okay, so we're going to go to the book of Amos, chapter 9, and verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake or prevent us. And that sword represent any type of killing instrument, okay? Which the main sword, which would be the handgun, or any type of firearm. You see how people got slaughtered on the 4th of July, celebrating their pagan custom holiday, which is of Esau, Edom, the oppressor, the slave master. So the Most High Yahweh, he's not playing no games. And you know what? He's going to keep killing. He's going to keep killing. He's not going to stop. 2/3 of our people have to be put to death. They have to be destroyed because they need rehabilitation. And the only way that they're going to be rehabilitated is through the sword and the ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles, because they're too far gone. There's no rehabilitating them. Christianity have them in too deep, and ain't nothing you can say to them. Yahweh will say, let me read it again. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Amos 9:10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So they're having a grand old time out celebrating these pagan customs on the 4th of July. And the Most High, he ain't playing no games. He's going to continue to keep putting you to death. He's not going to stop. And I got to say this. If anybody from Bastrop that know me, Bastrop, Louisiana, spread this video. Because these fake pastors, they're not telling y'all down there in that small town where our people getting slaughtered the way they getting slaughtered. And y'all want to continue to march, but no, that's not going to work. And about that all love doctrine. The Most High Yahweh, who working called God and Jesus Christ, he gonna keep slaughtering y'all. You 2/3, because you have to go. You got to die. You know, I know as much as y'all hate to hear this, but we got to speak the truth. The men of the Lord, the true men of the Most High Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushua, we got to speak it the way it is. We don't care about no feelings. It's just the way it got to be. Okay? So we're going to go to the book of Amos to further back this up. And like they like to say in those Christianity plantation slave doctrine buildings, those whorehouses, that Satan is busy. It don't have nothing to do with Satan. If you go to 1 Kings 22:19, Precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept. Line upon line, here a little and there a little. And the Most High Yahweh, he don't change. If you go to Hebrews, what is it, Hebrews 13 and 8, and Romans 7 and 1, the Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, he don't change. You know, because these fake Christians, they like to go to, there was in the Bible days. The Bible days every day, because it's constantly in rotation or in regeneration, reincarnation. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. And if I have time, I'm gonna pull up Hebrews 13 and 8 and Romans 7 and 1. I'm trying to bring through it as quick as possible, because I know it's some Christians and fake Christians out there who say, "Oh, you know, the law is done away with. Y'all, you fake Christians, you always have some excuse." But you know what? If you don't repent and keep calling yourself African American and keep wanting to be wicked as hell, a death angel might be knocking at your door soon too. So we're going to go to Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? The Lord done it. All of this killing, this massacre, started from Bastrop, Louisiana. They killed a young child. Chicago, no. Let me start with, Bastrop, Louisiana was a shooting. Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, where I live, Chicago, and Cleveland. I know more cities, but I didn't have a time to write them all down. I had to put this together. At the spirit of the moment, the Most High Yahweh put the spirit up on me to do it, so I had to do it. It's not just happening in Bastrop, Louisiana; it's happening abroad. The Most High tired of playing game with y'all. Wicked ass 2/3 of our people. You better turn back to your heritage and stop going to those damn buildings. Hey, listen to those lies, those wolves in sheep clothing, telling y'all these lies, man. The Most High Yahweh, he doing the killing. He don't have nothing to do with Satan. Let me read it again. Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh has not done it? The Lord Yahweh, he's doing it. You ain't hear nothing about no spiritual demon Satan. The Lord killing y'all. He gonna keep killing you. You're gonna keep dying. Because them fake pastors ain't gonna tell you. He gonna keep dying. You know what? Let me go to the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha which is in the 1611 King James Bible as well. We want to go to for edification's sake, okay? So we're going to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, which would be Sirach, also known as Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28. I'm going to read it through verse 30. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. There be spirits that be created for vengeance. Who created spirits? The Most High. He just said, Amos 3 and 6. Shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and people not be afraid? Shall there be any evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? So he's showing you who created the spirits. The Lord done it. Now going back to the book of Ecclesiastes, which would be in the Apocrypha, which would be called the hidden books. Ecclesiastes, which would be known as Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. Yahweh, the Most High, created those spirits. which in their fury lay on sore strokes in the time of their destruction. They pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made them? Yahweh, who the word even calls God. Yahweh created them. He just said he formed it, there shall a trumpet be blown in the city and people not be afraid. Should there be any evil in the city and the Lord had not done it? Yahweh, the Most High, he created them. And to appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hail, famine, all this coming. It's future prophecy. It's prophecy. There's not no getting away around it. And these false prophets and these false pastors and these Christianities, plantation slave whorehouses made with hands, they're not going to be able to get out of it. They won't be able to lie to y'all pretty soon because prophecy is speaking. Let me start over. Verse 29, fire, hail, famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpent, the sword is their gun. It's the modern day handgun or any type of assault rifle or any type of weapon punishing the wicked to destruction. So the Most High Yahweh, he sanctioned all these deaths in all these different cities. He sanctioned these things, this death and destruction and calamity upon our wicked people. They want to continue to call themselves African Americans. They didn't want to hearken to the voice of the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. They said the law was done away with. You know what? Let me go ahead and prove that right quick. Because I know we're going to have some. You know what? I'll put it in the end. You know what? I won't. So what you do is, just for time's sake, I want to keep it short. Read Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8 for you new beginners. And you go to Romans chapter 7, verse 1, how the law have dominion over a man or woman as long as they live. The lie they teach in little Christianity, plantation, slave houses, that's why the Most High Yahweh is continuing to put our people to death. He's not gonna stop. It's a purge on the 2/3 of our people, including Zechariah the 13 and 8 chapter. 2.3 billion of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they got to get put to death on this side. They got to die. Okay? It just got to happen that way because this is the Most High script. So if you will, read Hebrews 13 and 8. You can also go to Malachi 3 and 6, I believe, when it said the Most High Yahweh, he changed not. And you know a lot of these fake Christians that I can say, well, oh, that was the Old Testament. Go to the book of Hebrews 13 and 8, who the word even called Jesus Christ. He don't change. Hebrews 13 and 8 and Romans 7 and 1. Read that. I'm trying, like I say, Israel, I'm going to try to make this as fast as I can. You're not African Americans. And you keep dibbling and dabbling in those these pagan customs, are you going to keep dying? You can count on it. You can count on it. It's not going to stop. Okay? It's not going to stop. So, what we'll do, we're going to continue to show you who's causing this. And you're not going to learn this in these harlot houses, these whorehouses, that the Christianity, false prophets, they won't teach you. Most of them don't know anyway where the destruction is coming from. That stems from this wicked holiday, the 4th of July. When our ancestors, we are our ancestors, if you understand reincarnation. It's in those cotton fields, sugarcane fields, serving hard bondage. Okay? But the Most High said, okay, y'all want to keep celebrating these birthdays, these holidays, I'm going to continue to send them death angels. He's going to keep putting you to death. He ain't going to stop. You can march and stomp and beg the so-called white man, the goddamn devil the Bible speak of. He ain't gonna hear you. He's not gonna change. But really, it's the Most High. It's destroying you because you won't quit. You ain't gonna stop. He ain't gonna stop until you be purged out. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And the Most High said, for I lift my hands up, I lift my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. You see, the Most High done it. He lifted his hands up to heaven. He can swear on his own self because he's our power. The whole elect, the 1/3 whole elect scattered abroad in the four winds of the earth. But you 2/3, you're going to continue to get devoured. He's going to continue to devour you. It's not going to quit. It's in the scriptures. Okay? So the Most High Yahweh, he doing all this killing. The 4th of July massacre. And he's going to keep doing it. He's not going to stop. You know? And you can count on it. Okay? So we're going to go to further prove. Let me see. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel 11. No, I want you to take your 9. It says it's going to be something quick. Something real quick. Now people need to understand when the Most High is fed up without, he's fed up with our people. 2/3 of our people should like him. Going to Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. I'm reading from verse 4 through 6. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. So the men that sigh and cry is the men of the Lord that are preaching his truth on the hedges and the highways, also in the other large multitude of the 1/3 whole elect, they sighing and crying as well. Okay. Verse 5. Okay, let me start on verse 4. Ezekiel chapter 9. Start verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. And keep in mind, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Jerusalem is talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, which consist of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the city that it's talking about, not the landmass, Jerusalem, Israel, that is our homeland. Okay? And set a mark upon the forehead of men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. Okay, so verse 5. And so to you newcomers, what that saying is, all of these wicked, abominable acts that Esau Edom, that pushes his transgenderism, his homosexuality and bestiality, and all these pagan customs, Christianity, and all these false philosophies. So we sighing and crying about all of his abominations. Okay, so that's what it means. And so the Most High said, put a mark upon our foreheads so we won't get destroyed, meaning the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the scriptures. Okay? In verse 5, and to the others, he said in my hearing, go ye after through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children. And a lot of little children got put to death this past weekend. Okay? Men and women, little women and children. Okay? So the Most High says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near upon the man whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men, which were before the house. So the Most High. So the main point was verse 6. Slay utterly old, young, both maid and little children. A lot of people got put to death this past weekend. And it was the Hebrew Israelites that called themselves African Americans, and called themselves Mexicans, and called themselves Puerto Ricans, and called themselves Haitians, and called themselves Jamaicans. All these proverbs and bywords. So the Most High, he said, okay, well, since you don't want to turn back to me, because he have his men, you know, we preaching in the hedges, in the gaps, we crying out, but our people, they don't want to hearken. Okay? I said it's going to be something quick. And it's going to be the last, it's going to be the last verse. Lord willing. Okay, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 45. We'll start at verse 5. Keep in mind, Israel, the Most High, he putting to death. He started on the 2/3. They're going to keep dying, keep marching, keep calling on these pagan gods, Christianity, keep calling on them idols. It tell you in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, Deuteronomy 28:64, when they're talking about that wood and stone. They're talking about Christianity with that wooden cross that y'all like to carry around. And what's that stone? That cobblestone with Islam like to kneel down to it, telling you in the scriptures. But you want to keep on being some bone knuckleheads. Bonehead knucklehead. But the Most High, he don't care about that. Because he preordained you not to listen. It's already written that you're not going to listen. You programmed not to listen. This is for only for the hopefully elect. It's not for you 2/3, because once you hear this word, you can't get it. The Most High don't want you to get it. Like I said, with Romans 11:7, and I want to say with the 2 Thessalonians 2:11. If you start, you can either start up 2:9 and read down. Either 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians 2:9, and Romans 11:7. Read it. You blocked for a reason. The Most High don't want you to get it. So no matter how much you hear this word, if it don't make sense to you, the Most High want to destroy you. Whether you believe what I'm saying, or you hear the other brothers preaching the same song, whether you believe it or not, like I said, Romans 3:3, roughly paraphrased, for what if some don't believe? Does the unbelief make the faith of the Most High Yahweh and without effect? No. Let the Most High be true and every man a lie, because if you don't believe it, it's still going to happen. Okay, so we're going to prove on further who doing the killing, who did all this massive killing. They're going to continue to do it. Okay, the Most High ain't going to stop. He's not going to stop. So we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 45, and I'm going to start at verse 5. And it's going to explain to you exactly who's doing it. He's going to tell you in the scriptures. We're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 45. I'm going to start at verse 5 and read to verse 7. Verse 5, I am the Lord. That's Yahweh. He said, I am the Lord, Yahweh. And there is none else. He said, there is none else. You see how I didn't say that it didn't have anything to do with spiritual demons, Satan? He said, I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. Y'all don't know the Most High Yahweh. Y'all don't know him. Because y'all don't follow nothing he say, nothing he do, so you don't know him. You fake Christians, you don't. Only the hopefully elect, and this is who this is for. In verse 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west, there is none beside me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. You didn't hear nothing about spiritual demons Satan. Verse 7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So all the 2/3 of our people that got put to death over this past weekend, over this 4th of July, the Most High put our people to death. He did it. He's gonna keep doing it. He's gonna keep doing it. He ain't gonna stop. Because you know what? Y'all not gonna stop. You're gonna keep calling yourself African Americans. You're gonna keep saying the law is done away with. You're gonna keep believing what these false, fake pastors and these false prophets are teaching y'all in these Christianity buildings. You're not gonna stop. You're gonna want to keep being wicked. You're gonna want to keep eating shrimps. You want to keep eating lobster and all that abominable food. You're gonna want to keep going to those plantation whorehouses made with hand, messing with each other's mates, whether it may be a husband messing with another brother's wife or vice versa. You don't want to stop. You want to do whatever you want to do, and you want to rely on the lie that you've been taught in those Christianity buildings. That who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ died for your sins. You can do whatever you want to do, and you have to pay no consequences. Keep on doing it. The Most High gonna keep killing y'all. It ain't gonna stop. Y'all keep on marching, keep voting, until you come back to your heritage. It's gonna keep happening. Yahweh is gonna keep killing you. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash, he's gonna keep sending that death angel. You can't beat him. He's gonna keep killing you. You're gonna keep seeing your children die, get put to death by the sword, modern day sword. It's not gonna stop. So I had to bring this quick lesson out. The Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah put the spirit up on me. Hopefully it was edifying and to shed some light on if a newcomer watch this video and they understand, they have a better understanding the reason our people continually getting put to death, which consists of the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native American Indians, which is all proverbs and bywords. We are the children of Israel. Only curses fit the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. So until then, keep being an African American, keep marching. You're gonna keep dying, keep keeping these pagan holidays, you keep these customs. Just keep on going. You're gonna keep dying. You're gonna keep dying. So hopefully it was an edifying video. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, and give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and all the other brothers that teaching this truth of sincerity, that pushing the same truth of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, and give a shout out to the speckled bird, the confusion of faces that look like the other nations, which will be the speckled bird. Okay? I would like to shalom, death to America, and Baba Baba.